Basketball prime, what it feels like, and how to know if you've finally achieved it. I'm Tony. Welcome back to Streetball Strategies.
I'll teach yourself to make a fortune. Common sense, welcome to the apocalypse. I'm one of the horsemen. I don't need your endorsement. I don't need reinforcement. Giving you your last warning, cause I'm at my prime.
So this video is to say thank you, and it is a celebration of the first 1,000 subscribers to this channel. Most of my videos on this channel are about the hard work, the grind, outworking people on the court in order to be the best player you can be out here, to play your highest level of basketball. But I rarely ever talk about sort of the promised land, the fun part of your journey, of your legacy, which is when you're finally at that point of playing your highest level basketball. And I do that deliberately because I don't want to skip over the journey, the process. I don't want you guys to take that for granted. I want you to cherish it as much as you possibly can. But today I thought we'd talk about the fun part, the cool part, the unbelievable part about playing basketball, chasing the high level basketball player you're trying to be. So let's celebrate you first 1,000 subscribers by talking about the prime of your basketball career. First of all, what do I mean by being in your peak, being in your prime? It's similar to kind of being in the zone. So for those of you young players, new players who don't know what being in the zone is like or what it is, being in the zone is kind of a temporary, kind of random mindset that you find yourself in, that you kind of unconsciously, accidentally kind of slip into from time to time, where basketball just in general feels easy. The classic way to describe it is the basket, the rim looks huge, so scoring becomes easy because of how large the basket seems to be. While being in the zone is temporary and fleeting, being in your prime, being at the peak of your game is much more consistent. It happens on a daily, over and over again basis. And I'll continue to describe it as we go along, but let's talk about how do you know that you're there, that you've achieved this prime, this peak of your basketball career. There are two main ways to really be able to identify this. One's external, the other is internal. When we're talking about the external factors that allow you to understand that you're at your peak are basically from the players around you, be them your friends or even strangers. What you will notice is happening that didn't happen before is you'll have a level of respect from them that you didn't get from them before. And that respect comes in all forms. It could be anything from them coming to you to figure out when and where you're gonna play ball for that day. Like you're the beacon of when and where all of this is gonna take place. And then when you're out here, you'll notice that people respect you. They want to be on your team. It's noticeable, where it wasn't really all that noticeable before. Basically, the way to sum that up is just to say that when players see you, recognize you, think of you, they want to be on your team because they recognize that you bring out the best in them, allowing them to win most of the time, and they don't want to play against you for that very same reason. And maybe the biggest compliment of all is you'll get super high level players or even average players, any player who they deliberately want to play against you because that's how much they respect you. They know that you're playing your best basketball. You're playing basketball at such a high level that they want to test themselves against you like you used to do against the high level guys when you first started playing basketball. You'll kind of have this unconscious aura around you of confidence that you have earned over time, that now you carry with you out here to the court. And other players, even if they're complete strangers to you, they can just sort of see it, they can sense it. There's this feeling that you bring to the court when you step on it of confidence, earned confidence over the years, building your skills, your abilities, all of your experience. When you bring that out to the court, when you're in your peak, other players can just sort of sense that about you. And even if they don't, once play actually starts, they'll understand real quick. The second way to identify that you're in your prime is internally. And this is more subtle and can be kind of more difficult to discern because it's all about feelings. It's all about how you kind of feel from within. The way I like to think about this is that you're building a mountain, hence the word peak. So when you're putting in all this work, when you're outworking everybody, when you're training and practicing and studying the game, outworking everybody, putting in work that nobody else is doing, all of that work is building a mountain. And as you're building that mountain, you're also climbing it at the same time. The reason that I emphasize putting in so much work, being so dedicated, is because when you're building this mountain, that peak, that prime that I'm talking about is completely determined by you and all of this work I'm telling you to put in. The higher you build this mountain, the higher, the better, the higher quality that peak of yours is going to be. The more work, the more dedication, the higher your peak, the better your prime. And when you're building this mountain, as you're climbing it, there's a feeling that you have of kind of chasing, right? The chase. You're chasing the game as you're building your game. There's a impending feeling of chasing the game, chasing your greatness, trying to get where you see yourself as a basketball player. When you reach your peak, your prime, it's like coming to the end of a long journey. Think about the longest journeys that you've taken in your life, like a cross-country road trip or anything like that. When you're in the middle of that trip, all you can think about is getting to the end. Like, you just want to get to your destination. And then when you finally get there, it's not a feeling of like accomplishment or like celebration or like conclusion. When you finally get to your destination, it's more like gratitude, gratefulness. You're just like, oh, thank you that I'm finally where I was trying to be. And when you're there, you don't really feel like you accomplished anything yet because you're still in the process. The feeling is like, okay, I can feel it. I understand that I'm here. I've reached my prime and my peak, and now I have to make use of it. I cannot waste this time. It's not gonna last forever. It is temporary as well, just like being in the zone. So I have to make hay while the sun shines. So you continue to work every day. But now, the feeling that you have while you're working, it's not a chasing feeling anymore. It's more of a feeling where you have a connection with the game that you've never had before, that you never experienced before. It's like as if you've climbed that mountain that you've created for yourself. You're finally there at the top. You finally meet the game, and you put your arm around the game, and the game looks at you, and the game's like, hey man, glad you're finally here. I'm proud of you for making it this far. Because you've gotten here, because you've earned all of this, I'm gonna let you drive for a while. I'm gonna give you the keys, let you drive this bus. I'm gonna let you be in control for a while. What that means is, because you've earned your game to this point, you've earned all of your skill. You've earned all of your abilities. You've earned all of your experience. Now that you're at your peak, you don't have to earn that stuff anymore because you have it already. Now all you have to do is execute. And in this execution phase, basketball stops becoming more of the small picture stuff of, okay, what am I gonna do against this defender in this situation, or what's my strategy gonna be against this team? That's small picture stuff. That's very important when you're building and learning and earning, but once you get to the execution phase, now you're thinking about the big picture stuff. When you're at your prime, in your peak, what happens is you become a basketball problem-solving master. You're able to look at any basketball situation, relatively easily identify what problems lie within that situation, relatively easily come up with solutions to those problems. And then because now you have all of your skill, all of your ability, all of your experience, now all you have to do is execute those solutions in games against competition, and doing so is relatively easy. And you can feel it. You can feel the earned confidence that you have from having all that skill, ability, and experience. You can feel the confidence from the fact that you know you were at this peak in this prime that probably nobody else is out here at the court, and by default that kind of makes you the leader. You wake up in the morning laying in bed and you kind of already feel like you're already in the zone for that day. All you need to do is get to the court and start executing it. That's why and how externally all the other players out here, they get that vibe from you, because when you step on the court with that kind of confidence, they know that you mean business. And not only that, but you are not faking it. You're not pretending to be the man. You're not pretending to be in the zone. It's genuine. You have a genuine confidence that you've earned, and you can back it up because you know exactly how to execute. That is your basketball prime, what it feels like and how to know you have achieved it. Like I said, it's up to you how high that peak is going to be. It's all dependent on how much work you put into building that mountain. The higher you build it with the more work and dedication you put in, the higher that peak is going to be. So for those of you who are frustrated right now, your game's not coming together the way you envision it, the way you want it, the way you feel like it should be to this point, know that that's just part of the process. It happens to every player every single day all around the world. It's gonna happen to you over and over again throughout your career. That frustration is not gonna just go away ever completely. It's part of the process. It's part of the journey to get to your prime. But everybody can get there. Everybody can have a prime. Everybody can have a peak. It's gonna be different for every player because every player has different goals and different, things they want out of their game. But everybody can get to the point where you step on the court and for a brief period of time, be it weeks or months or maybe years, if you're lucky, you step on the court and you kind of feel immortal. You feel like you run things out here, like the game temporarily and respectfully belongs to you. That can happen for every player, for whatever kind of game you play, regardless of how tall or short you are, regardless of how old or young, regardless of what kind of physical condition you are in. Everybody can have a prime. Everybody can have that peak, but you have to earn it. The more work you put in, the better, higher that peak is gonna be. So thank you guys for watching, and of course, thank you to the first 1,000 subscribers of this channel. While I hope this channel continues to grow and get bigger and we can reach more people and help more players around the world, you first 1,000 subscribers, I will always think of you guys as my day ones. And for new viewers, if you like this kind of content, this kind of basketball topics, if you're tired of the drills and the workouts and that's not really what you're looking for in terms of basketball content, or at least if it is and you want more, you want to go deeper, you want to go further, that's what this channel is and does. I don't do drills, I don't do workouts. I think that you as basketball players who are intelligent and driven in your own game, you can figure that individual things, those drills, those workouts, you can figure that stuff out for yourself. And there are so many channels on YouTube that do that stuff so well that I frankly could not do as well as they do, so I don't even try. This channel is about basketball advice. We talk about stuff that other channels, no other basketball channel on YouTube talks about. So if that interests you, if you like that stuff, if you like this niche, then please subscribe to the channel. And as always, make sure you like, share, comment, hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever any of my new videos go live. And until then, thank you guys again. See you guys next week.
I don't need your mandate, don't need you to elevate. I'm about to detonate, cause I'm at my prime. Yeah, I'm at my prime. Said I'm at my prime. We at our prime.